This week we read Parshas Eikev. In Parshas Eikev, right before Sheni, we have the pasuk V'achalta v'savata v'rachtas Hashem Elokecha L'oretz HaTov Shenosan Loch. This is the pasuk which teaches us the mitzvah of Birchas Hamazon, that we must bench after we eat. After we eat bread, we must bless Hashem. We have 4 brachas in the prayer of Birchas Hamazon. In the bracha of Birchas Hamazon, 4 separate brachas. The first one, Hazanas Hakol, was written by Moshe Rabbeinu. We thank Hashem for the food. The second one was written by Yeshua, Ala Aretz V'Al Hamazon. We mentioned Eretz Yisrael. It's a special bracha for Eretz Yisrael, for Hashem giving us Eretz Yisrael. The third bracha, David and Shlomo HaMelech, say Chazal, they authored the third bracha, which discusses Yerushalayim and the Beis HaMikdash. Then we have the fourth bracha. Interesting. Hatoiv V'Ametiv. What's this bracha connected to? It's connected to a specific incident which occurred right after the destruction of the second Beis HaMikdash. A little bit after the second Beis HaMikdash, there was an uprising of the Jews against the Romans, which ended in a terrible catastrophe in the city of Beitar, where the Romans crushed the revolution completely. And besides crushing the revolution and killing all of those who rose up against them, they also instituted a law forbidding the burial of those who died in Beitar. This is a terrible decree. Many, many years later, a different Roman emperor canceled the decree, and he allowed the Jews to bury the dead of Beitar. The Harugei Beitar were buried. This happened, and when this happened, the rabbis instituted a bracha, Hatoiv V'Ametiv, he who is good and he who does good. Hashem is good because all the bodies which were lying out for many, many years did not at all decompose. They were whole just as they died. The second great blessing, Hatoiv, that's the good of Hashem. Hametiv, he who does good, because he allowed the bodies to be buried. Okay, Hatoiv Hametiv. But why every time a Jew has to recite Birchas Hamazon, he has to remember this moment, this specific incident? The Meshech Chochmah, Rav Meir Simcha of Dvinsk, gives a beautiful explanation. He says you have to imagine the psychology of a person leaving his home a few days after this massacre, and he sees maybe his brother, his cousin, his relatives lying on the floor dead, with no hope of ever returning to Yerushalayim, ever returning to the Beis HaMikdash. The reality hits him in the face every single day. This is a psychological tactic of the Romans to prevent the Jews from ever rising up again. But it also had a very depressing effect on everybody. And this went on for years and years and years. And then all of a sudden, one day, the Romans said, no, you can bury them. And they noticed, oh, the bodies didn't even decompose. Wow, what a great miracle. And we were able to bury them. And more than that, everything can turn around in 1 minute, says the Meshech Chochmah. And this was a lesson which Chazal wanted us to remember throughout our hundreds or thousands of years in Golus. No matter how long the Golus is, no matter how terrible it is, and how uncomfortable it is in Golus, everything can turn around in 1 second, and Hashem can bring the Geula, Hashem can turn everything around. Perhaps that's why also this incident happened on the 15th of Av, less than a week after we mark Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, the saddest day of the year. We mark the 15th day of Av, the day when the dead of Beitar were out to be buried. This shows us that even in less than a week, everything can turn around, everything can come back to where it's supposed to be. Hashem can bring the Geula and bring us back to Eretz Yisrael. This has been a short Dvar Torah on Parshas Eikev. Good Shabbos.